Procrastinating is choosing to delay a better future. I'm saying that right out of the gate because time is precious and I refuse to let you burn it on a lie about yourself. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're not behind because you're some special case of failure. You procrastinate because your nervous system is trying to protect you from discomfort, period. It sees a task, it predicts stress, embarrassment, confusion, boredom, threat, and it does what it's designed to do. It saves you from the feeling. That's not a character flaw. That's biology doing its job. Hey, it's your buddy Mel, and I need you to hear me like I'm standing right beside you in your kitchen. You're not the problem. The fact that you don't have systems is the problem. Once you see procrastination for what it is, a protection response, you get your power back because protection responses can be interrupted and retrained. We're about to do that. Let me name the pattern you've been living in, because when you can name it, you can change it. Pressure hits, email subject line, calendar alert, kids' school form, the tax notice, and your chest tightens, your shoulders creep up. You feel a flash of, your body shouts, nope. So you freeze, or you flee into scrolling, or you just tidy the counter, or you grab a snack, or you become a very enthusiastic laundry folder. You get a tiny relief. 10 minutes later, the relief's gone, the guilt shows up, and the task looks bigger, meaner, scarier. Now you avoid more. Night comes. You promise, tomorrow I'll be a whole new person. Tomorrow arrives. The dread is heavier. Repeat. That's the loop. Confession time. So, I'm not preaching from a pedestal. I once avoided a 3-paragraph email for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. In that time, I alphabetized the spice rack, had deep, meaningful relationships with 6 reels of golden retrievers on Instagram, and discovered a mystery Tupperware colony under the sink. I felt guilty, snapped at my husband, and the whole time the email did not write itself. The moment I finally sat down and typed the first sentence, under 5 minutes. And the second I hit send, anxiety gone, interview's over. That's the whole game. Action relieves anxiety. So here's the promise I'm making to you and the commitment I want from you. We are going to break that loop in 10 seconds. You don't need motivation. You don't need to feel ready. You need a safety reset your body can understand and one tiny, repeatable move your brain can't argue with. That's it. We'll do a simple safety script to tell your nervous system you're safe, we're okay, and then we'll pair it with a micro action that starts the engine. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, make starting so small it's automatic. Fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. For now, drop the shame. When the pressure spikes today and you feel that, I want you to say, my body's protecting me, that's the alarm, not the verdict. And when the alarm rings, you and I are going to run the 1-0-second reset and take the smallest visible step. That's how we stop delaying your better future. I love you. I believe in you. Let's go. Here's the twist that changes everything. You're not avoiding the work. You're avoiding a feeling you predict the work will trigger. That's it. The task is neutral ink on a page or pixels on a screen. Your brain runs a fast simulation. What could this mean? How might this hurt? Where could this go wrong? And if it senses embarrassment, confusion, rejection, disappointment, boredom, conflict, it slaps a red threat label on it and your nervous system pulls the fire alarm. You're not weak. You're wired. Plain English. Your brain mislabels discomfort as danger. That email to the boss, not a saber-toothed tiger. But if your brain predicts, I might sound stupid, it tags danger. Starting the budget, not a cliff. But if the thought is, what if I see I've screwed this up? Danger. Hitting publish, not a courtroom. But if it whispers, they'll judge you. Danger. And when you avoid, you get a tiny hit of relief. That relief trains the loop. Your brain learns avoidance makes scary feelings go away, and it pays you with a shot of calm. Congratulations, you just reinforced procrastination without meaning to. I want you to ask 2 questions out loud the next time you stall. What am I making this task mean about me? And what am I afraid will happen if I start? Because the hidden threats are sneaky. Fear of failing, obviously, but also fear of success. because success raises expectations and visibility. Fear of being seen. Hello. Imposter syndrome. Fear of conflict. If I send this, someone might be upset. Fear of not knowing where to start. Ambiguity is gasoline on anxiety. Fear of wasting time. What if I pick the wrong path? Even fear of boredom. Your brain prefers novelty, not spreadsheets. Let's name some scenes. You don't call the doctor because you're terrified of bad news. You don't open the bill because you don't want to feel shame. You don't outline the presentation because you're scared the first draft will confirm your worst story. I'm not good enough. You don't clean the garage because it represents 5 years of decisions you've postponed. You refresh email again because it's certainty on tap. New messages, little dings, small dopamine, zero risk. When you see it, you can change it. If the machinery is protection, not character, then the solution is not to bully yourself. It's to signal safety and create movement. We're going to teach your body the difference between danger and discomfort. We're going to interrupt the alarm, not argue with it. That's why the fix starts in 10 seconds with a safety reset and one micro move. Because action, tiny, easy, visible action tells your brain, we're okay, faster than any pep talk. So the next time you feel that, don't ask what's wrong with me. Ask, what emotion am I trying to avoid? Put your hand on the wheel of the meaning you're making. You are not the problem. The system you'll run is the solution. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and let the first inch of action lower the volume on the fear. That's how we stop training avoidance and start training follow through. Okay, now that you can spot the alarm, let's make it even easier by giving your avoidance a name. Not a diagnosis, just a pattern. Your nervous system has 4 favorite strategies when it senses discomfort: freeze, flee, fight, and fawn. When you see your pattern, you stop taking it personally and start getting leverage. Freeze first. This is the statue routine. You're at the laptop. The cursor blinks like a metronome of doom. Your brain goes foggy. You're staring, scrolling the same 3 tabs, rereading the same sentence. You say, I don't know where to start, and you mean it. Your body goes still. Your breathing gets shallow, shoulders up by your ears. That blankness is not stupidity. It's a protective pause that worked when uncertainty meant danger. It's just misfiring on spreadsheets and drafts. Flee is the busy bee escape. The second you think about the task, you stand up to grab a coffee, and now you're doing dishes, reorganizing the junk drawer, running an errand you invented, or deep in a scroll hole. You look productive. Look at you go. But none of it moves the thing that matters. Your legs want distance, your fingers itch for your phone, and your brain rewards you with little pings of relief. It used to be smart to get away from threats. Now it's just getting you away from progress. Fight is the spike. Irritable, snappy, muttering, this is stupid. Why do they want it this way? You pick arguments, you critique the task, you attack the timeline, the tool, the person who asked. Your jaw clenches, your chest heats up. The energy is real, but it's pointed at resisting instead of starting. That fire helped your ancestors survive. Today, it's lighting up Slack threads and kitchen debates instead of the first sentence. Fawn is the people-pleasing detour. You suddenly become everyone's hero, answering other people's emails, jumping on their fires, volunteering. Sure, I can do that while your priority waits. You're scanning for approval because approval feels safe. Your posture leans forward, voice gets bright, and you move other folks' stuff before your own. That kept you connected when connection was survival. Today, it steals your hours. Which is your go-to? Quick self-check. What do you do the moment you think about the task? Where does your body go? Tight chest, heavy stomach, clenched jaw. Do you feel buzzy legs, a lump in your throat, a headache blooming? Don't judge it, just name it. Because here's the truth. These patterns are adaptive. They worked somewhere sometime. They kept the peace. They kept you safe. They got you praise. They're not bad. They're outdated for this moment. And you don't have just one. Under money stress, you might freeze. With your boss, you fawn. With tech issues, you fight. When the house is loud, you flee. That's normal. The pattern is predictive, which means it's interruptible. Interview's over. The moment you can say, oh, I'm freezing, or I'm in fawn, you've already created a wedge of awareness between the alarm and the autopilot. We're about to drive that wedge in with a 1-0-second interrupt that works on every type because it speaks to your body first and your behavior second. Signal safety, then take one micro move. That's the whole play. Name the pattern, reset the system, and start so small your brain can't argue. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and watch how quickly the threat label melts when you move. Here's the rule you're going to run for the rest of your life. You do not negotiate with your feelings. You create safety and you take one tiny action. Action first. Because when the alarm is blaring, your brain will try to bargain 5 more minutes. I'll do it after lunch. Let me just check one thing. And every negotiation keeps you stuck. So we're done negotiating. We're interrupting. 10 seconds. That's it. Here's the 1-0-second safety script. Say it out loud because your voice cuts through the mental noise and your body hears you. This is discomfort, not danger. My body is trying to protect me. Thank you. I'm safe. I'm doing the next right step. That's the whole script. You're labeling the feeling, appreciating the protection, declaring safety, and pointing yourself at one move. Don't overthink it. You say it, you mean it for 10 seconds, and you move. Add the physical cue, and the reset is complete. Exhale longer than you inhale, one time slow out breath like you're fogging a window. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Plant your feet flat on the floor. 10 seconds total. You just flipped your body from threat to we got this without opening a single motivational quote. Now, the move. One micro move means it's so small you can't argue with it, and it's undeniable you either did it or you didn't. Open the doc, name the file, type the first bad sentence, reply to one email with, got it sending by 3, put your shoes on, stand up and walk to the printer. That's a micro move. Not finish the chapter, not inbox 0, just crack the seal. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and let the first inch pull you forward. You don't need confidence. You need a cue. Interview's over. Confidence shows up after you act, not before. The cue is the script plus the physical reset. You run it, then you do the smallest visible action in the direction of the thing. The moment you move, the anxious energy has somewhere to go. The relief you've been trying to scroll your way into, it lives on the other side of a single micro move. Watch how this plays with your type. If you freeze, run the script, exhale long, feet down, and simply open the doc. If you flee, say the words, breathe, shoulders down, and put your shoes on, or set a 2-minute timer and stay until it dings. If you fight, script it, drop your armor with those shoulders, and type the first messy line, no editing. If you fawn, speak safety, breathe, plant, and send one boundary message or block 10 minutes on your calendar and keep that promise like you keep everyone else's. Make it boring. Make it automatic. The win today is not finishing, it's starting on command. 10 seconds to flip the switch, one micro move to break the loop. That's your new reflex. And now that you can start in the moment, we're going to make starting tomorrow even easier by designing a system that doesn't rely on willpower or mood. We'll shrink the steps, lock in the schedule, and build an environment that does the heavy lifting for you. Let me tell you exactly why that 10-second reset plus one tiny move works so fast. Rumination is gasoline on the threat alarm, and action is water. When you sit and spin in your head, what if I mess up? What if they judge me? Should I try a different tool? Your brain keeps searching for danger. The search is the stress. It widens the lens, finds more maybes, and the threat label gets bolder. Action snaps the loop because behavior is data. The second you take a step, your brain has new information to work with. Oh, we're doing it. We're not in danger. This is manageable, and the alarm turns down. Let's make it real. That email you've been avoiding, the one that feels like a dentist drill in your chest, run the script, exhale long, shoulders down, feet planted, and type one sentence. Hey, Jenna, circling back with the draft attached. Watch what happens to your body. Your dread drops, call it 30% because you just influence the outcome. You move the problem from fantasy to form. Now your brain can see edges, not monsters. One sentence becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. 5 minutes later, you're 80% done. and you've got that weird thought, why did I make this such a thing? Interview's over. That's the mechanism. You don't act because you feel better. You feel better because you act. Here's the pipeline I want you to memorize. Movement, agency, information, confidence. Movement is any visible nudge. Open the dock, put on the shoes, set the timer. Agency shows up the instant you see your hand do what you told it to. Oh, I can move this. Information arrives when reality replaces guessing. The blank page has a title. The inbox shows exactly 3 messages you actually need to answer. The form needs 2 fields you can look up. Confidence is the reward your brain pays you for engaging with facts instead of fear. That order matters. If you're waiting to feel confident before you move, you will wait forever. So let's reframe motivation. Motivation is not the ignition, it's the exhaust. It's the warm whoosh that follows the first turn of the key. You don't get motivated and then act. You act and then get motivated. Every micro move you take is like tapping the gas tiny burst of dopamine, little proof that you're a person who can do hard, boring, ambiguous things. That's why we make the move small and obvious. Your brain can't fight a 2-minute start. It rewards it. And because rumination amplifies threat while action provides evidence, your job is not to argue with your feelings. It's to give your brain something to measure. 1 sentence, 1 call, 1 minute of sorting. You will think more clearly after you start, not before. Action turns on the lights in a room your fear painted black. If action is the medicine, and it is, then your prescription needs to be automatic and small. Not heroic, not perfect, not 3 hours of deep work on day 1. Automatic and small. That's what we're building next. A starting system you can run on groggy Tuesdays and chaotic Fridays, where you reduce the scope but keep the schedule, where the first 2 minutes are so easy it's almost silly, and your environment does half the work before you even notice. Here's the system principle that will change your life. You're not the problem. The fact that you don't have a starting system is the problem. Goals are loud. Systems are quiet. The people you admire aren't stronger than you. They're more consistent than you. And consistency doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from a system that makes starting non-negotiable and embarrassingly small. This is the rule. Reduce the scope, but stick to the schedule. You can always do less than you planned, but you do not skip the start. Read that again in your own voice. The schedule is sacred. The scope is flexible. That's how we outsmart perfectionism and panic. Interview's over. We're going to build a baseline you can run every single day. A 5-minute start session. Not a finish session, a start session. The win is the beginning, period. You tie it to something you already do, so it's anchored in reality. The moment the coffee finishes, you start. When you sit down at your desk, you start. After you drop the kids, you start. Pick one everyday anchor and glue 5 minutes to it. Here's how it looks. Put start session 5 minutes on your calendar at the same general time, in the same spot, with the same anchor. When it hits, you run the safety script. This is discomfort, not danger. Thank you, body. I'm safe. Next right step. Exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders, plant your feet, and then you take the tiniest visible action on the one thing that matters. That's it. Timer for 5. When it dings, you have 2 options. Stop and count it as a complete victory, or keep going if you want to. Both count. The only thing off the table is skipping the start. Why does this work? Because it detonates the all or nothing trap. I don't have an hour, so I'll do nothing. Turns into, I have 5 minutes, so I start. And when you start, the engine turns over, anxiety drops, and most days you'll do more than you planned. On the days you don't, you still cast a vote for the identity you're building. I am the kind of person who starts on schedule. That vote is how confidence grows, not the word count. One more rule so your brain can relax. Stopping after 5 minutes is not quitting. It's strategy. We're teaching your nervous system that the start is safe, predictable, and short. Make it so repeatable that even future tired you can do it. You'll be astonished what 5 honest minutes done daily, compounding for 30 days, unlocks. Lock the schedule, shrink the scope, count only the start as the win. And now that your calendar is training consistency, Let's make the first step so easy it's ridiculous, the 2-minute on-ramp that your brain won't even try to fight. The reason you still hesitate at the edge of that 5-minute start session is simple. The first step you've chosen is still too big. If you can't start, the first step is too big. Shrink it until it's automatic. The on-ramp is 2 minutes, not 2 hours. The goal is not to run the marathon. The goal is to step into the room where running happens. Crossing the threshold is the win. Once you're inside, you can decide if you keep going. But your commitment, 2 minutes, doorway only. Let me give you the design rule for your on-ramp. Make the first move reversible. That tells your nervous system, we can stop if we need to. Reversible looks like this. Gather materials, don't build Rome. Open the tabs you need, don't research the universe. Create a blank outline, don't finish a draft. List 3 questions you need answered, don't solve the whole problem. Write a subject line, don't perfect the email. These are tiny, visible, safe steps. They crack the seal without locking you in. Your brain loves exits, so give it one. It will walk through the door. Health example. Your on-ramp is shoes on, water bottle filled, step outside the door, 2 minutes. If you want to turn around, you can. Most days, the air hits your face, your body says we're here, and you walk around the block. But the promise is only the on-ramp. Shoes on, bottle filled, threshold crossed. That is a complete win. Work example. You open the deck, you title the first slide, Draft V1, you drop 3 bullet placeholders. Problem, insight, next step. 2 minutes. That's it. You can close the laptop and you've still won. 9 times out of 10, your brain, now anchored to something real, keeps typing. But the contract you keep with yourself is 2 minutes, not brilliance. Home example. You grab 1 trash bag and take out 1 bag's worth from the garage or the closet. 2 minutes, 1 bag. You can stop. What happens? You see a little floor, you get a whiff of order. Maybe you do a second bag, maybe not. Interview's over. The identity vote still counts either way. I am the kind of person who starts. And here's the brain trick I want you to expect so you don't get spooked by it. Once you start, you will often keep going. That's not magic. That's momentum and relief showing up after action. But do not raise the bar on yourself. The power is in the promise, being small and always kept. You protect the win by keeping the on-ramp ridiculously easy every single time. So your homework today, pick the one thing that matters and design the 2-minute doorway. What's the reversible first move? Name it, schedule it alongside your 5-minute start session, and make the finish line the doorway itself. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, count the start as the win. One more truth before we move on. Ease alone isn't enough if your environment is baiting your nervous system into escape. If the cookies are on the counter and the phone is buzzing on your desk, the on-ramp has competition. Next, we're going to coach your space to train follow-through, more friction for avoidance, less friction for starting, so your 2-minute doorway becomes the obvious path every single day. Your environment is either training avoidance or training follow-through. Design it on purpose. If your on-ramp is 2 minutes, your space should make those 2 minutes the easiest thing in the room and make your escape routes just annoying enough that your autopilot trips. We're going to coach your space like a great coach does. Set the drill, remove the excuses, blow the whistle, start moving, make avoidance harder, move the phone to another room during your start session. Not face down, gone. Put a charger in the hallway and plug it in there. That 10 feet of distance, it breaks the spell. Autopilot reaches for the phone, your body stands up, and boom, you wake up in the act. Distance is a tool. Log out of the apps you flee to. Remove the saved passwords. Put social media on the last screen in a folder named Later. Install a site blocker on your laptop that kicks on at your start session time, so YouTube, news, and shopping are dark for 30 minutes. If TV is your escape hatch, pull the batteries from the remote and keep them in a drawer across the room. If snacks steal your focus, put them on the highest shelf with a step stool in the garage. You are not punishing yourself. You're adding 1 or 2 seconds of speed bump so present you can catch future you in the act and choose differently. Now make starting obvious. Leave the dock open and full screen before you go to bed. Put a sticky note right in the middle of the keyboard with the next micro move. Type the ugly first sentence. Lay out the materials on the desk, one pen, one pad. The file. You need everything else cleared. Shoes by the door with your keys inside them and the water bottle already filled. If it's a call, tape the number to the monitor. If it's writing, set your browser home tab to draft V1. If it's bills, put the stack in the checkbook dead center on the table with a 2-minute timer sitting on top. We are removing friction from the first inch, reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and make the start literally stare you in the face. Give your space a voice. A good coach cues you with what matters next. Your environment can do that. Put a small whiteboard on your desk that only holds today's one thing and the first micro move. Keep a printed checklist titled Start Session with 3 boxes. Safety script, 2-minute doorway, keep, stop. You're turning the drill into muscle memory. Run the if it could only see your actions test tonight. Imagine a camera in your home with the sound off. If it could only see your actions, what would it say your priorities are? Not your intentions, your cues. Does it see a phone on the desk, remote on the coffee table, cookies on the counter? That's an environment training escape. Or does it see an open dock, a timer beside your laptop, shoes by the door, and a sticky with the next move? That's an environment training follow through. Redesign the set. So future you walks onto a stage where the obvious thing to do is the right thing to do. Do this once and you'll feel the difference. Do this daily and it stops feeling like a fight because the fight got engineered out. Tonight, set the stage. Tomorrow, your start session runs itself. And next, we're going to lock this in at the deepest level by anchoring it to who you're becoming. So every start isn't just a task, it's a vote for your identity. This is where it gets real. Systems are the mechanics. Identity is the engine. So I want you to ask the only question that matters in this season of your life. Who do you want to become right now? Not someday, not in theory. In this season with your real constraints, your real body, your real family, your real job. Say it out loud. Because when you name it, steady parent, reliable creator, calm professional under pressure, you give your brain a North Star. And here's the liberating truth. You don't need a new personality. You need repeated votes for showing up. Every start is a vote. 2 minutes with the dock open is a vote. Shoes on and out the door is a vote. Setting the timer and sorting one bag is a vote. These are ballots cast for I am the kind of person who shows up. That's how identity is built. Micro, daily, undeniable evidence. You're not waiting for confidence or a flawless track record. You're stacking votes. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and let the doorway be your ballot box. Perfectionism is going to try to hijack this. Let's call it what it is. Self-protection dressed in excellence. If it has to be perfect, you never have to be vulnerable. If you're not ready yet, you never risk rejection. Cute, and it's costing you your life. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to practice being a beginner. Beginners take messy reps. Beginners show up for 5 minutes and stop. Beginners make progress that looks embarrassingly small to their ego and absolutely essential to their nervous system. Interview's over. I want you to borrow 3 identity statements and say them at the start of every session. I keep promises to myself. I do the next right step. I can handle discomfort. That's it. Stack them right on top of your safety script. Then prove them with 2 minutes of behavior. Promise kept. You started on schedule. Next right step. You took the smallest visible action. Discomfort handled. Your shoulders dropped. Your breath slowed and you moved anyway. That's identity in action, not in aspiration. Picture the camera without sound watching your life. It sees you, 7:30 a.m., coffee down, timer set, dock open, one ugly sentence. That's a vote. It sees you after a chaotic commute, lace the shoes and walk to the corner and back. Vote. It sees you between meetings, take one bag to the trash. Vote. On the days you do more, great. On the days you only cross the doorway, great. The identity vote still counts. And those votes compound tiny proof, layered over and over until I show up is not a hope. It's who you are. Now, here's the kicker that locks us in. Identity only sticks if you have a restart plan, because life will knock you off track. Kids get sick, deadlines collide, hormones swing, travel derails routines. That doesn't make you a failure. That makes you a human. What separates the person you're becoming from the person you've been is speed to restart. Never miss twice. 10-second reset. 2-minute doorway. We're going to build that resilience protocol next, so your identity doesn't shatter with one bad day. It strengthens every time you come back. You're going to miss. You're going to sleep through the alarm, catch a cold, get a curveball at work, and boom, your streak is gone. That is not failure. That is life. The secret isn't never slipping. The secret is how fast you return to the next right step without the shame spiral. Progress isn't perfection. It's speed to restart. If you learn this one move, your identity gets sturdier every single time life knocks you off. Here's the rule. Never miss twice. Missing once is life. Missing twice is the beginning of a new identity. The gap between the first miss and the second is where your future lives. So when you notice you missed yesterday, this morning, 5 minutes ago, you don't negotiate, you don't perform an autopsy, you don't throw away the week, you run the restart protocol immediately. Say the recovery script out loud. Okay, I missed. That's data, not a diagnosis. I'm safe. Next right step, 2 minutes. Exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders, plant your feet, then take the tiniest visible action. Open the doc and type the ugly first line. Put the shoes on and step to the sidewalk. Set a 2-minute timer and move one bag. That's it. You just snap the miss twice chain. Interview's over. And on the days 2 minutes feels too big, shrink the restart even further. Do 30 seconds of setup. Title the file, draft V1. Put the water bottle by the door. Pull one bill from the stack and lay the pen on top. Open the calendar and block a 10-minute slot tomorrow. 30 seconds counts. Why? Because we're not rebuilding a streak. We're rebuilding trust with your nervous system that starting is safe. Once that trust is intact, momentum returns on its own. Now, if you want to learn from the miss without marinating in it, ask one question. What made the first rep hard to catch today? Time, energy, or friction? If it was time, reduce the scope and keep the schedule tomorrow. Maybe it's a 1-minute start. If it was energy, pair the start with a simple state shift. Splash water on your face, stand up, breathe, and begin. If it was friction, change the environment tonight. Phone in the hallway, dock open full screen, sticky note with the first move in the middle of the keyboard, data, not drama. Apply this everywhere. Missed your morning start session? Do a 2-minute salvage at lunch. Missed the gym all week? Walk around the block tonight in your pajamas? Fell off on vacation? Airport gate. Long exhale. Script. 30 seconds. Open the Notes app and list 3 next moves for tomorrow. The point isn't the volume. It's the velocity of return. Make how fast can I come back your new scoreboard. Chain it all together so it lives in your bones. Notice the alarm. Run the safety script. Long exhale. Shoulders drop. Feet down. Take the 2-minute doorway or 30 seconds if needed. Reduce the scope. Keep the schedule. Count the start as the win. If you miss, never miss twice. Recovery script. Immediate micro move. That's your resilience loop. Memorize it, share it, and get ready. Because next we're going to stitch every piece into one daily interrupt you can run on autopilot so procrastination stops running your life. Here's the loop you're going to run every day until it's automatic. Notice the threat. Feel that surge of dread or the tug to flee. Name the pattern. Freeze, fawn, fight, or flee. So your brain knows this is a script, not a character flaw. Run the 1-0, second safety script out loud. This is discomfort, not danger. My body is trying to protect me. Thank you. I'm safe. I'm doing the next right step. Long exhale, shoulders down, feet planted. Take one micro move that's so small it's undeniable. Slide straight into your 5-minute start session timer on, door closed. When the timer ends, tweak your environment by 1 notch to make tomorrow's start obvious and your escape slower. Phone in the hallway. Dock open sticky with the first move. Finally, count the start as an identity vote. I am the kind of person who shows up. That's the interrupt. Interview's over. Do it with me right now. Pick one avoided task. Don't make it sexy, make it real. Got it? Name the pattern. Am I freezing, fawning, fighting, or fleeing? Say it out loud. Now, safety script with me. This is discomfort, not danger. My body is trying to protect me. Thank you. I'm safe. I'm doing the next right step. Exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders. Feel your feet. What's the tiniest micro move? One ugly sentence. One subject line. Shoes on. One bag to trash. Say the move out loud. Good. Set a 5-minute timer. Press start. If you can move now. Start while I'm talking. If you're in the car, visualize the exact micro move and the exact time you'll run it today. When the timer dings, you can stop or keep going. Both count. Reduce the scope, keep the schedule, and make the doorway the win. Before you walk away, lock in one environment tweak. What's the single friction you'll add to avoidance or remove from starting? Phone on the charger in the hallway. Dock open, full screen. Shoes at the door with keys inside. Write it down. Do it today so tomorrow is already coached. Now, the simplest tracking system on earth. One checkbox per day, labeled I started, not I finished, not I crushed it, just I started. Put a 3-0 day grid on a sticky note, on your fridge, on your desk, in your notes app, 1 square per day. Every time you run the loop, you mark an X. That's your scoreboard. Consistency, not heroics. Votes, not vibes. And because we're a team, I have 2 asks. Share the 1-0, second safety script with one friend who beats themselves up for procrastinating. Text it, DM it, say it to them. You'll change their day. And if this helped you, please hit subscribe. It's free. And drop a comment with the task you're starting today so we can cheer you on. You're the kind of person who supports the people who support you. Support your friend, Mel Robbins. Here's your permission slip and your push. You're not broken. You needed a loop. You have it now. When you can interrupt in 10 seconds and follow a tiny system, procrastination stops running your life. In case nobody told you today, I love you and I believe in you. Now go take the next right step, 10 seconds. That's it.